Hi everyone, welcome to our next installment of the Empowered Life series. My name is Kari Sammons and I'm here to talk about a topic that I'm super passionate about, and I like to refer to it as just going green. Sometimes we talk about greening up our home, greening up our life, and I often have conversations with people and we think, what does that really mean? What does this going green even mean? And for a lot of people, it's simply talking about being environmentally conscientious, environmentally friendly, and really just in a more broad way, I like to think of it in terms of being mindful of our environment, mindful of the way we live, and making very clean, intentional choices of the way we live. And really just to kind of bring it down more close to home, we're going to talk today specifically on how we can have more of a home sweet home. I like to think that we do live in, we call our home sweet home, but a lot of times we have, toxins or things lurking around the corners in our home that we don't even know about, or how can we address in some simple ways that we can take inventory of what's in our home and how we can kind of reduce the toxic load of what we have going on. That's honestly, I think, one of the reasons a lot of us chose doTERRA to begin with. It's one of the reasons why we personally as a family partnered with doTERRA and the oils, because we were looking for something that was more clean, green, healthy, mindful way of taking care of our family without all of the side effects. And so I loved, one of the things that really attracted me to doTERRA in the beginning too was all the other cool creative ways that we can utilize the oils to clean up our home and have a more clean environment. Because the truth of the matter is, I sometimes refer to our world that we live in as a toxic soup. And I know that kind of sounds disgusting, but really it's true. When you think about all of the toxins that we have exposure to every single day, we get them from the water that we drink. We're always hearing about the water quality. Is it safe to drink from the faucets? When we step out of our house, we hear about the pollutants in the air, the pesticides, the things that the farmers are spraying on the crops, all of these things that sometimes we can get really overwhelmed by because there really is a lot of toxins in our environment. And sometimes it's easy to kind of shut down and think like, oh my gosh, I don't even have control over how I can reduce that toxic load. So what I really encourage people to do is, instead of feeling totally overwhelmed by that, because a lot of that we really don't have a ton of control with. Of course, we can write legislators, which I encourage everyone to do, but we can have control over the toxins in our own home. And so that's what we're just going to talk about, what we can do and some fun, simple little things to do to help clean up our home and green up our home. A lot of us have kids or grandkids or nieces and nephews that come to our home. And really when we think of the children, they're the ones that are the most susceptible to a lot of these toxins because they're still developing. And so their bodies can really hold on to some of these toxins in a way that's really scary. The World Health Organization was talking about how the air quality in our homes is actually way more likely to be toxic than the outside air quality. And that was a really startling statistic for me, and it's something that I've really shared a lot about because it's something that we have total control over. So one of the things I was doing some research, this is the sources of these indoor air pollutants. It's a lot of different things. Do you know that American households use about 40 pounds of cleaning chemicals every single year on average? America's homes are filled with fumes. You think about some of the things too, like the off-gassing from your paint and from your mattresses and from your carpeting. We've heard about these things. That smell of the new home smell. Well, actually, a lot of that is the off-gassing from the chemicals of some of these things that we have. And so the EPA actually continues to warn us that the indoor air pollution is a serious threat to human health. And one of the things that's really simple that we can start to do is take inventory of how clean are the cleaners really. Do you know that 80,000 chemicals are registered with the EPA? And only 2% of those have actually been tested for their safety. 90% of all poison exposures occur at home. And indoor air pollution can cause 1 death every 20 seconds, according to the World Health Organization. So there are a lot of toxins just because of the cleaners and the different products in our home. And we don't have time today to go through every single one of these things, but I really just want to encourage everybody to take inventory. One of the best things that you can do is just open up the cabinets under your sinks, go into your laundry room, go into your garage, wherever you store some of this stuff, and start reading the labels. Look at the ingredients on there. Look at what it is that you're washing your hands with in your, in the sinks around the home. Because to be honest with you, my whole life, I had no idea that when, I was cleaning my hands, we were getting these really cool, cute little, fragranced hand cleaners that smelled what I thought then smelled really nice. And come to find out that most of those things are all filled with toxins. And the last thing that we want to be doing, especially for our kids and all of us and our guests that we have, is go in and wash your hands and then get all this toxic exposure. But a lot of us that are on the go, we're like, well, what can we do? So I have some really cool things that I'm going to share with you. One of my favorite DIY tricks that I like to use is for an all-natural hand sanitizer. And I love this because we get to upcycle. That's the fun thing, is upcycling some of our products. But if you take an empty On Guard bottle or lemon or any other bottle that you want that's empty, and you take off the top, and you can then pop the little orifice off, and then buy one of these. You can get these little spritzer tops. You can get these from lots of little stores. They cost about 30 cents each. And then you just trim the bottom of it so that it fits right in your used bottles. And then what we do is I fill this up with 10 drops of On Guard and 10 drops of lemon, so 10 drops of each. And then you fill the rest up with purified water, or just, if you have some distilled or spring water. And then you can keep this with you. This is what I encourage everybody. It is nice to have an on-the-go hand sanitizer option, right? Because a lot of times we are playing at the playground, or we're at the grocery store and you don't want to touch that yucky handle, right? So I encourage people to carry these with them in their backpacks, in your purses, in your car, in the somewhere, wherever it's convenient for you. So that's a little fun trick that you can use for on the go. So for a nice option, instead of the chemical cleaners and the chemical hand soaps, doTERRA offers us a really great solution with their On Guard foaming hand wash. And it comes with a pump, and so you can just fill the concentrate into here. And I would really encourage you to just transplant whatever you have in your home currently with the On Guard cleaner concentrate, because it works great, it smells wonderful, and it doesn't have any of the chemicals that I mentioned. It doesn't have the triclosan. So it keeps your hands healthy and clean and keeps your bodies healthy in the whole process, which is what we're going for, right? So that's just one little tip. And then one of the fun upcycling things that I wanted to share with all of you that you may not have thought of, but this is something that we do to have our On Guard foaming hand wash on the go, because a lot of times we are on the go. We're traveling around, we're going to the store, we need to wash your hands. So here's my fun little trick that I want to show you all. If you've ever used, there's a product doTERRA has called HD Clear. It's a foaming face wash, and I love this little pump bottle. So once you've used this up, you can take the label off of it and then refill it with the On Guard cleaner, the On Guard foaming hand wash, and then take one of the labels from your foaming pumps, if you don't mind stripping off the label of one of these. You don't even have to actually have that. If you know what this is, you don't have to have the label, but I think it looks kind of fun just to transplant the label right on here And there you go. You can have this with you in your car, in your purse, in your diaper bag. And so you never have an excuse to, it's funny, my kids joke around with me a lot, but when we're in public bathrooms, my little Emily will always look over and say, "Mom, is this soap okay to use, or does this have the chemicals in it?" I'm like, "Sweetie, it probably has the chemicals in it." And I really love it when I happen to have that in my purse with me, so I can just pull it out and have a nice, better, healthy option to use. So hopefully that's a fun trick for you all to incorporate that doesn't take much time or money. So here I just want to think about our homes. And one of the phrases that I love in terms of incorporating these green cleaning and kind of going green in our homes, I like to incorporate this thought of thinking of your home as a second skin. I heard that once said, and it really resonated with me, because our home is our place that we want to keep our families safe and healthy, and when we're going to sleep at night, that we're breathing in good things, that we're not getting, additional chemical exposure from our homes. So our homes are really an extension of ourselves. And so one of the things that I think is so important is just to become aware. Like, take inventory of what's in your home, become aware. And I also like teaching this, that green living is not a luxury. Rather, think of it as a responsibility. And it truly is a win-win. When you go green, you actually are improving the health of your own family and yourself, and you're improving the ripple effects on the environment, which is really fun. It's nice that it's a win-win. I also really love teaching that we need to learn to disengage the autopilot. And I guess what I mean by that is a lot of us were raised to think that clean meant chemical. That's the way I was raised. I was raised in a home that if you're going to clean your house, it's not really clean unless you got all the chemicals out. And the ones that said, like, had the skull and crossbones and the caution, this is poison, right? And so what we've come to learn is that there's so many gentle products that we can use that clean really, really well, and that clean does not have to mean chemical, okay? So really disengage that autopilot. And then the other thing that I love coaching people on is to take it slow. Sometimes, some of you are going to watch this and you're going to turn this off when it ends and you're going to say, "Oh my gosh, okay, I feel like I need to go and change everything in my home. I need to clear out everything under my sinks. I need to replace everything." And the truth of the matter is, if you try to do all of that at once, you might just shut down and feel like you don't have the ability to do it all, or you might get overwhelmed. So rather than feeling like you have to make all of these changes at once, pick a few things, one or two things that you feel passionate about. Maybe they're ideas that I'm sharing with you today. And just take baby steps. And as you do these things, you'll find that it's fun, and you get your family involved, and everyone will say, "Okay, this is really fun." And it becomes kind of addictive. All right, so now I want to take a few more minutes and just share some of our favorite recipes that we've used around our house for the last many years, and that are kind of our go-to favorite recipes that I love sharing with people. And on the topic of the On Guard products, one of the things that people are looking to replace, looking for a more natural, clean way, is to clean the surfaces of their home. And of course, you can use, there's really great recipes for an all-purpose cleaning spray. But one of our favorite things, as soon as doTERRA created this On Guard cleaner concentrate, I love this. It's so easy. We just get a spray bottle and fill it mostly with water, and then a couple of tablespoons of the cleaner concentrate. And truly, you can spray down the surfaces of your home and clean in a very green, clean, effective way. So another fun trick when people are thinking about cleaning the surfaces of their home, a lot of people have been used to using some of the icky, I call them the icky wipes, that have a lot of the chemical junk in them, that now hopefully you're realizing that stuff is not making you healthier. It's actually making you sicker when you use a lot of the toxins, okay, because we get that buildup in our system. So a lot of people say, "I really like having some kind of a wipe to clean down. What can I use as an alternative?" So a fun little trick is to take a roll of paper towels, and you can cut it in half, and then find a plastic container that you can put it in. And here's a really great recipe that you can make your own all-purpose cleaning wipes with. And you can actually use this wipes recipe, or you can use the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate mixed with mostly water that you pour over top of the paper towels and then let it soak overnight. And then you put the lid on and you flip it upside down and let it soak through. And then you remove the middle part, the cardboard, and then it pulls out just like a wipe container. So it's a really handy dandy all-purpose wipe that you can use, okay? Another one of our recipes that we use a lot in our household is the DIY soft scrub recipe. And doTERRA doesn't have a product quite like this yet, so this is one that hopefully you can all appreciate using. And we use just the things that you mostly probably already have in your home. Have some kind of a baking soda, so it's about a cup of baking soda and a little bit of vinegar and a little bit of Castile soap and water. And then, of course, you're going to add your favorite oils to that. My favorite to add to this recipe are about 5 drops of lime and 5 drops of lemon. And then you just mix it all together until it becomes like a frosting consistency. And then find a little jar around your house that you can store it in. And this is a really fabulous soft scrub. Now, one of my favorite topics is, in terms of cleaning, is just the fun, creative ways that we can clean the air in our environment. So I'm going to wrap up with 4 of my favorite tips and tricks on cleaning and kind of, cleaning the air in your environment. You might not have ever thought of using an air filter, but check this out. I happen to have an air filter here with me. So, all of us have furnaces in our home that we put these air filters in that we need to clean and swap out periodically. So every single time that you go to clean your air filter, and maybe you'll actually remember more often now, you can take whatever oil. You can use On Guard. I'm actually using Purify, and I want you to just drip probably 10 to 15 drops of the oil, and then slide it back into your furnace. And then you're going to actually be diffusing as the air is pushing through your HVAC system. You're going to be cleaning the air in your home the whole time, and it smells amazing. It's like a natural diffuser running through your home. Another fun trick is toilet paper. In your bathrooms, you can use the toilet paper roll and actually just drip a few drops of the essential oil right in there. And then every single time the toilet paper is used, it's diffusing in your bathroom. How cool is that? And then if you see this cute little plant we have sitting here, a lot of people have houseplants because they think they are nice decoration around their home, which they are. But I want you to know that there are so many beautiful plants that actually clean the air, that help to clean out toxins in your home. So it's one of my favorite ways to tell people to clean their air in their environment is to just get a bunch of houseplants. So the key, honestly, is just to remember to diffuse oils every day, multiple times every day, because there's such a beautiful impact. We already know it improves our mood, but it's also really helping to clean the air in your environment. So as we wrap up this little segment, I just want to invite you all to have fun with this. We have found in our family that green cleaning can be fun. I love that we don't have to have safety latches on our cleaning cabinets because everything in there is safe. It's okay if they get into it. I love that I can invite the kids and to clean with us because there's nothing toxic that we're using. And I can't wait to hear some of the ideas that you all come up with because that's what's fun about this is kind of thinking, what do you like doing? There's so many great products. There's so many fun oils. And I've learned a lot of my favorite tips from all of the things that you've shared with me. So have fun with it, be creative, and just remind yourself of what I told you earlier, that don't be overwhelmed. Going green is a constantly evolving process, and it starts with that very first step in just making a decision. And it is an ever-evolving process. And just, I love the picture of the ripple effect, that when one little thing, you know, some of us think like, really, if I'm cleaning with less toxic products, like, is that really making an overall big impact on the environment? And the truth is, it all starts with one little step, one little drop, right? And we teach that. One drop makes a huge impact and really does create a beautiful ripple effect. So have fun going green and enjoying your home sweet home.